was the first American to ever play for Real Madrid, which I think it's a cool thing because no one can ever take that away from me. Every night I have a daily routine that I do. The last thing I do is this footwork drill that I time myself in every day. My goal by the end of the season or by the end of 2018 is to be under 8 seconds, but yeah. Yeah, I beat my record, actually. The pressure was on and I beat my record. 7 seconds, 7.75 seconds, so that's... My name is Joshua Painada. I'm 16 years old and I'm from Los Altos, California, and I play at the under 17 at Ajax Amsterdam.
Deze meter gaat richting Groningen.
So right now we're at my old school. It's literally 20 meters from my house, and we love coming here because get to practice basketball, just go 1v1 all day. All of that brotherly love. Yeah, we leave it at home when we come to the court. Yeah. All day. Yeah, we're so close in age. I'm 21 months older than him, so that means there's 3 months out of every year where so he's 15 right now and I'm 16. But in reality, I'm basically 2 years older than him, but there's always like 2 months out of the year. There's always 3 months out of the year where he's 1 year younger than me, and so then that's when he gets super confident. He thinks, hey, I'm the guy now, I can take him. So I have to put him back in his place. I have to teach him who's boss. What? You just tossed that, I was lucky, man. The biggest sport, I'd say, in America. Basketball is probably the same level in America as football is here. It's so fun because it's so fast. There's so many different ways. You can score from outside, you can score from inside. You can break people's ankles, which is my favorite thing to do. So I've been in Europe for 6 years, and I played basketball here for the first 3 years. 2 years ago, I had to decide if I should continue playing. At Ajax, we started training in the morning, 4 days a week, and there was really no time to play basketball anymore. So it was a tough decision because I had to really stop and choose which sport I loved more. I love basketball, but I just love football more. I mean, football was my first sport. I'm not super tall, so I probably have a better chance with football than I would with basketball. It's still something I love to just play with my brother, or also with my dad, or just anyone really. I say basketball is, since it's so fast, since you're doing so much jumping, you're doing a lot of cuts, it's incredible for your conditioning. And that really helps because if I get the ball a lot in like a couple of minutes and I'm doing a lot of dribbles and doing a lot of moves, then I can get tired. But with basketball, you're constantly moving around, that it helps so much with on the football field. We play a really high intensity style of football, so it's very comparable to how we play basketball. I love all the extra work. I love the grinding, all the extra training. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've been able to become the player I am today, because it's a different mindset that I have. My childhood in America was very much centered on sports.
Hey, Josh.
All I can really remember from my childhood was always playing with the ball, a lot of times with my dad and my brother, or on a team. So Los Altos, California, I mean, it's a really beautiful place. It's close to San Francisco. Really fond memories of that place because I always go back every summer. I visit all of my old friends. It's a really nice place to live. I also played American football. I didn't play tackle football, I only played flag football because my parents wouldn't let me play the full contact because they were afraid I'd get hurt. When you're like 4 years old, they have little training clinics and little games you can play. And so just from then on, football just became my passion. And then I ended up learning all about the game, watching YouTube and everything, and then it became really, my love for the game just grew from there. I was the first American to ever play for Real Madrid, which I think is a cool thing because no one can ever take that away from me. My mom's job transferred her to Madrid, Spain, and then while I was there, I got the opportunity to join the Real Madrid Youth Academy, which was a dream come true because Real Madrid was my favorite team as a kid. And also my favorite player, Cristiano Ronaldo, was there at the same time. So that was just an unbelievable experience. I picked up Spanish very quickly because I had to. There was no other way. I wouldn't have been able to really do anything then. It was difficult at first because it's new culture, new team, completely new system with Real Madrid. Real Madrid is possibly the biggest club, not just in football, but in all of sports, in the entire world. And they were my favorite team with a lot of my favorite players. At training sometimes, you could see the players on their own field practicing, which is a really cool experience. Just watching them play was just such an inspiration because you're at the club and then you see where the bar is, so then you want to do everything in your power to get there as well. So you do more, you do extra training, you do everything, you give 100% every day. So the inspiration and the motivation was there, which is something that I think is really, they did a really good job with.
En dan is het na de 2-0 meteen tijd voor een wissel. De eerste wedstrijd, de eerste officiële wedstrijd van Joshua Pinadat in het shirt van Ajax. Pinadat speelde in het verleden al in de jeugdopleiding van Real Madrid, is nu dus Ajaxiet.
We had to move because she was getting moved for her work to Amsterdam. It was tough. I was too young at the time to stay in Madrid and live on my own. And Ajax has been the best experience of my life, I'd say. When I look back at some video that I have from when I was at Real Madrid versus where I am now, it's just, I still like to do all my moves, but now it's I've just grown in terms of my understanding of the game and how I play and how just everything. I've just become a much more I keep growing and developing as a player because of Ajax, which is something that's really special. They're known around the world as having like the best youth academy in the world. I've been able to experience that firsthand, which I think is just an unbelievable experience for me. The move was not as difficult as moving to Madrid because, well, we'd already moved to a different country, so we kind of knew what that was like. Almost everybody here speaks English, so there was no real language barrier. My teammates, they spoke a lot more English than my teammates at Real Madrid did, so I was able to communicate from day one. I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to share the locker room with and play on Saturday with because they're great players and they're also great friends. So. We have first training in the gym, and that's where we do some strength training, and then after that we have a 45-minute skills training, which is very position-based, which is where you get to work with, I guess, former players that are now coaches that played in your position, which is pretty unique because then they'll help you with very position-based skill sets. Like for me, maybe some dribbling or some crossing and finishing. And then after that we have lunch, and then we have 2 hours of study. And then at 3 o'clock we have the team training for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And then we have dinner at 5:30, 5:45. And then another 2 hours of study. And then we go home. And it's a long day, from 9 to 7:30 every day. Amsterdam and California are very different. California has much better weather. It's really spread out, so you're much more reliant on a car. And when you're a young kid, you rely a lot on your parents or someone else driving you somewhere if you want to go and train. But in Amsterdam, you have more of the independence. For instance, when I was here, I came when I was, I think, 13 years old. And if I wanted to just go to the field and just work on my shooting or work on my dribbling or something, I didn't have to ask my parents, can you drive me? I could just get on my bike. I really love the independence that you have here, which is something I've never seen anywhere else in the world. I'm extremely proud to be American. I like to think that we've really stayed true to ourselves since moving to Amsterdam. We live in Amsterdam, but we're still the same people as we were, I guess, 6 years ago when we were still living in California. So it's really cool to see more and more Americans coming over to Europe and playing in the top leagues. Right here I have, be remembered, and that's kind of like, that's the quote I try to live by. And it's pretty messy behind me, but it's something that I really believe because that's how I try to live every day. Be remembered isn't just something that happens on Saturdays during the game. It's all of the work that's behind the scenes that no one else sees. I'm always the first one on the field at training. I'm always doing my own workout. I'm always doing extra stuff because in order to be memorable, in order to be remembered, and to be the best, it's all about the extra work that you put in.
And the sky is gray. I went for a walk on a winter's day. I'd be safe and warm if I was in LA.
On my team, actually in the whole academy, almost everybody, including myself, has experience representing their respective national teams. So every day at training, you're going against the absolute best of the best. Everyone benefits from that. So I think that's something that's really special to Ajax, because on my team alone, I think 9 players, 10 players are on the Dutch national team, the Dutch U17 national team. That makes training such a beneficial part of my development because those are some of the best players, and then everyone benefits from that because everyone gets better from that. So Real Madrid has a great system in terms of developing players, but I think Ajax, they do a really good job at developing the technical side of the players and the tactical side of the players, just really creating a complete player. So I'd like to think of myself as an exciting player to watch. I like doing a lot of skills. I like to beat players off the dribble, or like to beat players just with my speed or something. I think I have a nice shot now, so I'm able to score from distance. A very attack-minded player that is dangerous for the other team. And actually, a lot of my coaches tell me this, that the style of play that I have is the ideal style that they want wingers to show in the youth academies and also for the first team for Ajax. So it's a pretty big compliment to be told that you play the way that we want to teach players to play. I mean, who knew that a kid from California could become a typical Ajax player, but yeah. It's chilly. Right now we're at AFC, which is a training complex really close to my house. And I like to come here on my off days and just work on anything that I think needs to be working on. I always come on Sundays because I'll always analyze the film for my game on Saturday. And if there's something that didn't go right, I always come and I always work on that until it's perfect again. Say in one game, my shooting with my left foot didn't go the way I wanted it to go, then I'll make sure I get 20 good shots in a row with my left foot, just to make sure the next time I'm in that opportunity in the game, it goes in. Saturday is the best day of the week, because I mean, that's when you get to show all the work that you put, all the time you spent training during the week, you get to show it to everyone on Saturday. Ajax has a really huge platform. If you're a good player, if you're a good talent, Ajax is the place to be because then you can show the world what you can do. So I think that's something very unique to Ajax alone. Ajax Feyenoord, I'd say, is like, it's the same thing as the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. Just that type of rivalry. You can't describe the feeling. You just want to beat them every time you play. I think I look good in the shirt. I think I look good in it. Cameras are on, lights are on. Now it's your time to shine.
Ajax, de nummer 2 op de ranglijst, tegen de nummer 3 Feyenoord. De mini-klassieker.
We were down 1-0 in the first half after a penalty. We ended up equalizing it. We ended up tying 1-1. But we weren't playing the same exciting football that we normally play. I can't even describe how amazing that felt. I knew before the game, I said, I'm scoring this game. I have to score this game because, I mean, we were in second place and then that goal put us into first place.
En de kopbal aan het doelpunt. Pinadat. Joshua Pinadat scoort. Ajax op voorsprong. Prachtige aanval. En wat een vreugde.
When I headed the ball in, it was indescribable. I can't even put into words how just amazing it felt. Everyone was excited again. Everyone was just going crazy. Everyone was really hyped about that moment. And then after that, the whole game changed. We ended up shutting them out. I don't know if they had another shot on goal. I don't know if they even passed the halfway line, the half field. And we just played the Ajax style of football after that goal. I'd love to debut with Ajax 1, the first team. Yeah, I'd love that. That'd just be a dream come true. And that's the ultimate dream with the national team, is to eventually win a World Cup for the USA, the first one. At the club level, I'd love to play in Champions League and then hopefully end up winning Champions League one day. But it just has to go step by step.